Hello friends, welcome back to the channel English with SHYAM Sir in English. So you are watching the English channel under the name English with SHYAM Sir, where I will be talking in English. So I hope you're all doing well. In this session, we have a beautiful article waiting for us. In this article, there are very good number of words and also some good points to be noted as far as grammar is concerned. I always say this: English is all about three things. Number one, vocabulary. Number two, grammar. Number three, comprehending ability. Whichever exam you prepare for, the knowledge of a student is tested in three levels: your grammar knowledge, your vocab knowledge, and your ability to read and understand something. That's what we call comprehending ability. I hope this article is going to help you in some or the other way. Without further delay, let's get started. But before I start, I am not going to explain the article every sentence like you know. I am not going to tell you all the GK related points to this article. No. The objective of this program is very simple: English. So from this article, whatever points are related to English language, yes, that's what I'm going to share with you. Are you ready, friends? Here we go. But have a running notes and a pen ready with you. Chalo. So this article is, on the today's newspaper editorial column, rightful challenge. The article names rightful challenge. I'll not explain the article every sentence in detail, but before I tell you the English related points from the article, I have to give you a brief of idea about what this article is. So rightful challenge is the name of the headlines here. So Twitter case should lead to changes in IT rules that will protect free speech. So the whole article is about an issue which is ongoing. The issue is all about, I can say, social media versus freedom of expression. Okay, like for example, we have a lot of social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook and Instagram or whatever. So we have a lot of social media platforms where people actually comment whatever they want to comment, they write whatever they want to write, they express whatever they want to express. This is obvious. However, what happens is, our constitution has provided us with something called freedom of expression, fundamental right. At the same time, what happens is, if there are no limitations to this, it might lead to aggressions, it might lead to chaos, it might lead to manipulating the people or influencing the people or exploiting the facts. So there are also some pros and cons. That's the reason why every time when the freedom of expression is being overused or misused, courts will intervene and try to give some limited rights or limitize the rights in a reasonable manner. But this is always a debatable issue, correct? Because how can you measure something is going to harm others or something is not going to harm others? I'll give you a simple example. Government has announced a policy and some people who are not happy about it posted some negative comments against the government on the social media platforms. Now can we take it like anti-constitutional, anti-national, or should we take it like freedom of expression? Again, it all depends on the language that they have used. It all depends on the impact that their posts might have on the people and so on. So these are all very, very, very sensitive issues, but yes, debates are needed. So recently what happened is, Twitter is a very popular media platform that we all know, where some people have posted a few comments and other posts which are not professional, or as far as the rules are concerned, we have some rules called IT rules. So every social media platform should comply with the IT rules, should follow the rules. So again, some governments said this is anti-national or this is not up to the mark. So courts are intervening. So like this, a kind of debate, a little bit of tussle. Tussle means fight. A fight is going on between, I can say, the social media platforms like Twitter and I can say governments and courts. So let us see what will happen. But yes, this is a very interesting article. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this article, and I also want you to read this article. Okay, this is a very easy to understand article, 100% doubt, no doubt, a very easy to understand article. It's all about Twitter. So Twitter is moving the courts for justice, and we have some IT rules. So let us see what is going to happen. Okay, so in this article we have some good number of vocabulary here. So let's see what are the good number of vocabulary. Like you all know, I'm going to start the session in two levels. One, first a few important words that came on today's article, followed by some important grammar observations. Right, chalo. So if you look at it, the whole couple of sentences talk about the recent decision taken by Twitter to move the courts. So here, if you see, there is a beautiful expression called take the bull by the horns. Especially if if anybody is preparing for competitive exams, this is very important. Take the bull by the horns is a beautiful idiom. We have a lot of idioms, right? So take the bull by the horns means ready for the challenge, ready to fight, ready for the battle. Okay, ready for the battle. Then we have another beautiful vocabulary that says cynical, very doubtful, a kind of, a pessimistic kind of thing, negative angle of, thinking. The cynical is very doubtful, correct? Very doubtful, correct? Now if you say this vocabulary, see, will regard this as action done under duress. Wow, very fine word, I can say. Action done under duress. Duress means a kind of force, pressure, obligation, unwillingness. I'll give you a beautiful example. Yesterday I had to take that decision, but I took the decision not willingly. I took the decision under duress. Duress means I had no better choice, or I was compelled, I was forced, I was cornered. So duress means under pressure. Simple. So three beautiful vocabulary I have discussed with you so far. Take the bull by the horns is ready for the challenge. Cynical is very doubtful. And then we have under duress is under pressure. Easy? Easy, my dear friends? Chalo. Let's move on to some more beautiful vocabulary, if any, in the article. Yes. If you see, there are a lot of sentences that just talk about the information presented in the article. Okay. It talks about the information present in the article. And then let us see, beautiful vocabulary is this. See, comply with. What is comply with? Comply means follow the rules. Okay. Comply means what? Follow the rules. Comply means follow the rules. Okay. Following the rules. And now if you see here, substantive look. What is substantive? Substantive means considerable. Substantive means considerable, or having some strong foundation. Substantive means having some strong base. Okay, substantive means in a confident manner, because you have a strong foundation with you, you have a strong evidence with you, like that. Okay, so then let us see if there are good number of words ahead. At least let us try to cover not less than 10 words. Wow, such a beautiful idiom. Take up the gauntlet. Take up the gauntlet is a fantastic idiom. But I'll tell you something very interesting. Earlier, just a few minutes before, the first idiom was take the bull by the horns. Take the bull by the horns means ready for the challenge. Here also, take up the gauntlet is also ready for the challenge. Like in vocabulary, we have synonyms. In idioms also, we have synonyms, right? So, take up the bull by the horns, ready for the fight. Take up the gauntlet, ready for the fight. Ready for the fight, ready for the challenge. Okay, beautiful vocabulary here. Dissent. You know what dissent is? Somehow most of you might know what dissent is, but still I'll tell you what dissent is, my dear friends. In a very simple language, dissent means disagree. Okay, dissent means disagree or oppose. Dissent means disagree or oppose. I am very sure that most of us know what agitation is about. Yes, agitation is revolt against somebody or fight against somebody for something. Agitation is a normal word that we use. Before I move ahead, I want you to make running notes. Pause the video every time I share with you something important. Sometimes usually we think like we will note later. I will work on the running notes later. Sometimes later can never come. Okay, so do it right away. Okay, so agitations means, you know what is agitation, right? revolt, fight against, fight against. And this is a very simple vocabulary, I am sure. Accurate, we very often use this word accurate, accuracy. Accurate, accuracy is right, 100% right without mistakes. 100% right without mistakes. 100% right without mistakes is what we call accuracy or accurate, correct? And let us go ahead if there are some better vocabulary here. Right. So I think this is a beautiful expression, friends. One of the key reasons. If you remember, very recently I was talking about the same concept called conquered, subject verb agreement. One of the, whenever comes, the noun, immediate noun should be in the plural form. I am one of the teacher. Wrong. I am one of the teachers. One of the key reasons. Okay. Upheld. What is uphold? Upheld is a past tense of uphold. Uphold means support, encourage. Uphold means support or encourage. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what empower is. Giving power. Simple, right? Empowering someone. Like we say women empowerment, correct? Giving power to somebody is called empower, right? Not a problem. Not a problem. So, chalo, I think let us try to see at least 3 more words. Our target is 3 more. Are you ready? Our target is 3 more. It's a beautiful exercise. Let me tell you honestly, this process of browsing the vocabulary, which you do not know, is a fantastic thing, okay? So, I think then we have almost all the words done. Dissent again came. Dissent is disapproval, correct? Remotely, what is remotely? Very less, almost not. Remotely means almost not, very, very less. Remotely means almost not, very, very less. Or I can say barely, you know, I'm remotely connected to this concept. I'm remotely connected to this concept. Very barely connected, very rarely connected, okay? Wow, what a fantastic vocabulary this is, friends. I think this is the last vocabulary today. Proffered, P-R-O-F-F-E-R-E-D. What is that? P-R-O-F-F-E-R-E-D. Fantastic vocabulary. Proffered. P-R-O-F-F-E-R-E-D. Proffered means simply offered. You can just take away the P-R. Take away the P-R from the word. Proffered means offered. I'll give an example. I was proffered a cup of coffee by Mr. John. I was proffered a cup of coffee by Mr. John. Proffered means what? Yes. Offered. Proffered means offered. Proffered means offer. I think yes, we have of course another paragraph, but I don't want to spend more time. But unless and until there is some vocabulary which I am obliged, which I am really much, wanting to tell you. Yes, behemoth. I can't resist. I can't resist to tell you the meaning. Behemoth is large, huge. Behemoth is large, huge. Okay. Behemoth is large, huge. Cropped up. Wow, what a phrasal verb. What a phrasal verb this is. Crop up. When you say crop up, suddenly appear from somewhere, okay? Crop up. I'll give you an example like 2020 March. We were all busy in our lives doing our works. Suddenly, from somewhere or from nowhere, something called coronavirus cropped up into our lives. No, cropped up is suddenly appeared. Crop up is suddenly appear. Friends, beware. Dangerous word. Sir, what is dangerous about it, sir? We know what besides is. In competitive exams, in spotting the errors, besides always are, misused, interchanged. So be careful about it. Not a tough thing, but beware, that's all. Beware, that's all. Another phrasal verb, see, come up with, design. Came is past, come is present. So when you say the phrase come up, when you say come up with means put forward, present, come up with means design. Come up with means design. Yes, I think I can't resist to tell you this beautiful vocabulary, onerous. In a simple language, friends, onerous means very difficult. Onerous means very hard. Sometimes teaching is onerous for some reasons. Okay, teaching is onerous at times. Or driving a car continuously may be onerous. It's an onerous task, tough task. It's an onerous task, tough task. Wow. So I think yes, most of the good words I try to share with you. And if there are any more words, let's see. Oversight functions, and you remember very recently I have talked about this vocabulary called oversight. Yes or no? Very recently I have talked about oversight, like special focus. I think debate on Debate on is a beautiful expression. Debate on is a beautiful expression. Wow, this is the last word, no doubt, promise. Right. So impinge on. Impinge on. Impinge is a verb here. On is a preposition. Fantastic preposition. Impinge on. Have a negative impact on. Have a negative effect on. Have an effect on. This decision might impinge on my career. You understand? His decision has impinged on his business. Okay. I think this is a beautiful article which I can't resist to share the vocabulary from. I also want to explain the article in detail, but that's not the agenda of my channel English with SHYAM Sir. My purpose is to share with you English related things so that reading is your job. English is my job. Understanding the article now is yours. I'm trying to act as a catalyst. So I think from the from this paragraph there are many words which I have shared with you, but 5 words really impressed me. 5 words very much impressed me. If you remember, there is one word which is not very often used. That's called preferred. That's called preferred. So preferred is a word which really impressed me. Preferred is offered, correct? Preferred is offer, correct? Duress, I liked it. I had to take the decision in duress. Okay, I had to take the decision in duress means what? Under pressure, under duress. I like this idiom called take the bull by horns. Take the bull by horns. This is something I very much liked it. Take the bull by horns, or take up the gauntlet is also I like it. Take up the gauntlet. Take up the gauntlet is also I liked it. Both carry similar meaning. Get ready for the fight or get ready for the challenge, right? Get ready for the fight or get ready for the challenge, right? So another vocabulary I liked it, that's called remotely. So remotely is barely. I am remotely connected to this movie. I watched a movie yesterday. I am remotely connected to this movie. I am remotely connected to this movie. Okay. There are many other words, but I like them very much. I hope you also like them. Proffered, offered, under duress, under pressure. Take the bull by horns. Get ready for the challenge. Take up the gauntlet. Again the same meaning. Get ready for the challenge. Remotely, hardly, barely, very less. Friends, I would like to end the video, but before that, my request is simple. I want you to work on these beautiful 5 vocabulary, idioms and synonyms. I want you to work on these 5 vocabulary, study them on the internet or the dictionary, and with each of these words, create your own examples and send your examples in the comment section. And your examples must be your own. Okay? I repeat, I want you to work on each of these vocab, study them, and create your own examples. Send your examples in the comment section. I would love to see your examples which are created by you. I would love to see. Okay, so don't forget to do this, and this is something which I would love to wait for. Before I end the video, like I have promised, there are a few observations from grammar part. Yes, I have to share them with you. Very, very, very important grammar related points. One very important point is impinge on. You remember? Impinge, the preposition is on. Very, very, very important. Impinge on, preposition. His decision might impinge on his business. Then again another preposition from the paragraph I liked very much, that is comply with. When you're working in an organization, you must comply with the rules of the organization, correct? And I always discuss this rule called whenever one of the comes, the noun should be in the plural form, never singular. The noun always should be in the plural form, never singular. And surprisingly, the very first line, the headline of the article says, Twitter decided to move the Karnataka High Court. Move the court. See, when somebody wants to move to the court, we don't use the preposition. We don't use the preposition move to the court. We directly say move the court. In legal language also, I decided to move the court for justice. I decided to move the higher court. Move to the court. To is not used. To is not used. To is not used. And yes, I always say beware of this simple rule in prepositions called beside versus besides. I want you to take a note of this, very important. Okay, impinge on, fantastic preposition. Comply with, important rule. Whenever one of the comes, this is very important. The noun should be plural. Move to the court, to is not required. And yes, besides, beware. There are still a lot more from the paragraph, from the editorial article today, and it's now your turn. I did my part, you do your part. I hope the session is useful and interesting. Note down all the points which you find important. Don't forget to use these words and create your own examples. Remember that Shyam Sir is waiting to see your examples in the comment section. All the best. Signing off. Good luck.